Hey everyone, it's Flashstep from Blight Gaming. I'm here with the second half of the Team Liquid vs NRG analysis here. If you're watching Elige, we're gonna hop into the second half, like I promised. It'll be cool to call these because there's a lot more individual decisions you have to make a CT. T-sides obviously have to follow certain strats, but there's a lot more individual play-by-play decision making in the rounds. So I like this concept though. I'm just commenting on the strat. They have like a 2-2-1, like a retake towards B almost. One playing CT spotting, and the second guy will peek again because they won't expect it. Unfortunately, the guy CT gets laid out, which kind of opens up a spot for Elige to do some damage there, but he just, was partial and missed a couple shots. It's surprising hold though. They had 2 on cat, right? They're very okay with just like the run out B if it happens, then have like a full retake towards A. But unless they open up something here soon, it's gonna be over. So we still anticipate someone to flank because he's not seeing anybody in sight, which is why he's curious as to like why anyone's. Because generally, if you peek connector, you'd have someone peeking in from like A main or halls or something, so they can use a free trade. But they all play towards connector jungle side because it was planned for control. That's why I decided to like make that quick peek towards CT. Not much you can do about that when they completely control all of jungle and connector side, and they kill the CT guy. It's just a stack that didn't, not even a stack, just a retake that didn't go in their way. If CT guy lived there though, and they retake, there's probably a better chance of them taking that 100%. Good force by here. Interesting to see. So this right here is a one-way. It's used so you can see over it and get a free pick early, and just put a lot of pressure towards middle. Looks like they have a 1 towards B here. It's like a 1-2-2. Emphasis on middle and A, because on eco people really don't want to go through the halls unless like no one's there, because you're just running into like a one spot that they could be stacked. But some teams will run out that way, and they'll just like kill the 1 player, the 2 players there, and then have the free sight. See, like he rotated over towards B here actually to help him out, and this is a cool play here. He jump spots while 1 plays in the corner, so they see the jump spotter, and then the guy just like basically gets a free kill if they don't expect it. But right now, they're kind of just like playing a little bit more passive, finding out where they're going to be going so they can try to like over-rotate. Like here's this Pope come cat. Well, that's just nuts. He just holds like a pretty, not even off angle, like a pretty generic angle, but gets 2 just off of good shots. And that's kind of like the problem with like the get right spot right there for terrorists that are coming at cat, is that's a really strong spot, so upper usually has to clear it. Are they eco them here? They do. That's play by Stan as well. Another thing too is if a team comes out upper B and doesn't check like up close in the corner and van, Stan does that and just kills 3. Good round by both of them. I think they got all 5 kills actually. So this is cool to see. I haven't seen what other teams do kind of for this, but they actually have the rifle bonus, so it's 2-1-2. I don't know if it's just because it's on the eco or they actually have actual setup, but so many teams smoke out middle that is kind of useless to have an operator all the time. That's just a little bit unfortunate. I don't think he really got his calls from his A players there about how close they really could be. He's kind of got caught off guard, which is gonna happen in ecos occasionally if they run on angles that people aren't expecting. So I always like express you should be using utility 100% of the time. Like a lot of players don't use that much, but maybe right there you have your gun out. But I really think it's just a miscommunication, which is like one of the biggest reasons that people die a lot of the time is just not knowing exactly where someone's at and timing of go. So good round by them though. Oh my god, they're just like swapping rounds here. They're gonna be on a double save. There's probably a buy here. Yeah, they're gonna force. The hard jump and blind. This is a really cool spot too. If they don't smoke this out, like you just saw right here. Oh, we actually decided to jump down. It's a really interesting decision. I'll wait till I see what he does before making more comments. It's kind of slowed down. But a lot of the time you play left-hand side there and they don't molly or smoke it, you can get a free kill of them running up in connector, which is exactly what he wanted to do. And a lot of... Nice shot. A lot of players will generally rotate over towards jungle, and people will think that middle is clear, but his play is to jump down and try to get a quick fight, because if one's going up connector fast, there's probably one delayed in middle. So I actually kind of like that play. I actually like that play a lot. Especially if you're on eco. If you're on gun round, don't do that. Never do that. Right here, they're trying to go for it. If they get one early, they might, but they need to run. They don't have a defuse kit. Now they're gonna save. There's no way they make it to this bomb. They're kind of looking to kill all the guns, I think, is their main concern. But I really think they could have tried to save that AK there. Maybe he might get away with it. He is actually. He's gonna live. He should. So that was a pretty good round for Team Liquid's like a mentality where they would just like kill all their guns so we can get a good buy, and they'll have like a semi-buy. But something to comment on is like Elige stayed alive there. A lot of players, I think that's one of the hardest things for players to kind of realize when they should be backing up, when they should be aggressing. Like right there, him going to underpass, not even fighting for a while, waiting for Stan to come help in the middle is like what makes the difference between a great player and a good player, right? So good play by him. And it does look like he plays the middle. I like this, like the 2-1-2 with the rifle there. So it just can be so different. Lots of different plays. Obviously, if you're smoked out, you can rotate other places. And the op can support you from like ticket booth or something of that nature. It's something I'm trying to transition our team into. Maybe having the op like look at middle at the very beginning of the default round, like on the 4th round or 5th round, and then swap a rifle there. Like their whole setup actually is like a 2-1-2 with the leash floating to either side. The 2 B players dedicated to holding, 2 A players actually. I don't know if they've been playing up close that often, but I like the idea. I'm just really curious to see what they do when they start taking middle a lot on them. It doesn't really look like NRG. It's funny because I thought NRG was like a very aggressive mid team, but it doesn't seem like they're doing much of that. Elige is very okay with taking these fights. If they're not smoking it out, I'm actually really confused on why they're not smoking it out. They probably Liquid should probably been off there eventually. Kind of can't off their guns obviously, but actually based off of the I forgot that this was like also another eco. They were based like again the last round was main goal is to get rid of guns, but they couldn't buy this round anyway. They're just kinda like trying to get guns again here. If they can get 1 or 2 guns, that's like ideal for them. This boost though is so funny, like it's so weird to do. I think they might have fixed it actually. They tried that for way too long. Now the main goal is just to save that AK. He'll even smoke it off, just get across. And Stan maybe come in late after. At some points try to get 1 more gun. I think he'll peek bench here. I'll go look at him. Oh, he did peek. But PTR lays him out. Like I'm not just at 100. I wouldn't tell him either. So now we'll see. Wow, they still don't have like a full buy there. I'm still on umps. Oh, there's the op. I guess they're not a full buy. It's considered full buy. Twist is the only one who doesn't have one. So I guess their eco setup is actually the 2-1-2 with the Elige middle, and then is the op middle? No, it's still a rifle. So this might be more of their generic setup. It's like where one's window and then the Elige towards stairs. Actually, in past demos, I know Elige plays towards stairs. I don't know why I thought he was there. On the eco, though, he guess he was window. I think he did have 1 of the only guns. So this is actually really cool what he's doing. Like a lot of players' responses once they see the smokes will be like, you know, wait around the smoke, see if one pushes through, blah blah blah. Against really good teams, they're not gonna do that. And what he does, he snap goes to CT to help his teammate, who's also CT. So they're dedicating to a retake with giving no picks towards jungle, and if one's there, Stan is there to pick them up. I think that's really good, like a good mindset. Yeah, it's really rare actually to see people snap rotate off like that that are outside of the pro division. Most they're not, but then they kind of reinitiate onto a retake to get the trade, so now it's 3v1. He's gonna be a snap defuse. So I really don't even think there's anything to comment about his actual individual play there. That was actually a very team-based like retake on A. Once they take, you know where to go afterwards. They've definitely discussed that. Because you really don't want to take any fights beyond that smoke, and there's no point in sticking around, because if anything, the only thing you're going to see is like people coming up like connector and trying to fight you in the back. So, disciplined decisions. Oh, again, he's towards middle here, so let's just swap it off. They might be playing it off spawns, actually. The 3A players might just play it off spawns, but Opera not towards middle a lot. Good molly, good snap. He doesn't even know that they're... He just hears one underpass and throws it. And you can see some of the key rotations happening here. The B player kind of comes towards window to watch the jump. I mean, the boost that's happening right now. Elige goes towards stairs, and the A player's still there. So, a lot of teams don't do this. Well, I shouldn't say don't do it. They try to do it, but... that's an unfortunate pick. But you want to spread your CTs like kind of across the map still in a 4v5 to make sure all the places are guarded, because you can still get into a 4v4 or 3v4 even if you get 2 frags. But interesting strat here. They're actually all group up towards B. Now once you spread it like this, terrorists are doing this absolutely correct. Like group up after you get numbers. Elige's going for an intel play, which is something you kind of have to do in 3v5s. You kind of have to get more aggressive, find out where they're at. He calls this clear, and so therefore they know it's either going to be towards A or towards B grouped. And it only happens because Elige realizes once the guy gets boosted dies, he needs to either get into connector and make a play, or back up and play with his teammate A. And so he decides to do the first. Now they kind of know where it's going. Oh. Still going B. Like he realizes that he might have... I'm gonna see, that'd be really cool if they won this round. It all comes down if he gets like one more frag here. If he gets one more, they're golden. Oh. That's a tough one. Twist might clutch it. Oh, terrible spot. Plant spot. He's gonna run away. Wow, good clutch. I mean, arguably, that round is won by Twist for his play at the end. But without Elige pushing into connector and going into middle to get intel on that, they don't know that they're going to be stacked towards B, or it's going to be a stack on one of the like extremities of the map. So really good play by him. And those are those really like split decisions that you have to make in 3v4s, 3v5s, whatever it is, that you can like applaud. I'm actually a huge fan of this tack pause. I'm a huge fan of it because it's really tilting around to lose. So you let NRG kind of like soak in their defeat. Instead of like going and trade to the next round, they have to really think about this. And also Team Liquid can talk about the next round guaranteeing they can string 2 together. I really don't know if the mentality is like, you know, ice them, make them think about what they just did there, how they lost like a 5 versus 3. Or not, but I think if you really want to take it one deeper, you should be pausing right there. If you're good. Depends on how many tack pauses you have per half, I guess, in the league and stuff. Or if, you know, you do the white lie of a tech pause and use it. People do that all the time. One twist. So I actually really do like Liquid setup in general. Kind of like forget about the middle area on the middle window and they kind of like work towards connector a lot of the time with a rifle occasionally in the middle. Interesting. Not much to comment on that other than it was this strat that basically like cat comes out, 2 connector come out to kind of like take a fight towards the middle, and this is more of like the NRG that I've seen in previous demos. It's like they take these fights middle aggressively and they'll hold angles. Maybe Stan had a raid on that or something and wanted to just pop flash over and kill them, but I think they were actually beyond their flashes and so they really get blind there. Elige blindly ran out through the smoke trying to trade with teammates. Something that's like appreciated. Didn't work out that time, but usually it does. Some players wouldn't do that and would just like sit behind that smoke and not try to help with the fight, which is much worse of a play than what he did right there. Like to the, I wouldn't say untrained eye, but to any average player, that looks like just a throw type of play, but it's really not. That's like the way better play than just sitting back. And that's the strat too, right? It's not just like he didn't do that carelessly. It was like what they're designed and what they plan to do there. I don't think Twist. No way they let Twist get this. This would be incredible. Oh no. I mean, Connector should be able to hear it, and they're playing a little bit wary. He's not gonna get it. He even tried to. He just wanted guns there. Connector would have hurt him, I guess. But this has been such a back and forth game. Twist's play there, I bet he's getting a call from his teammates saying like he should have tapped it in all reality, even if he wasn't going to stay on it to get them to come back, so they can get more guns. They're in a terrible spot with their money, but taking out 2 more guns there would have been great because Twist is going to be on. That rifle's not going to live like 2 rounds probably. That's just my opinion though. Oh, that is an unfortunate peek. There's nothing you do about that. That's just a spam shot. And Pete's practiced that probably a lot. That was crazy. And the one round that you're okay with getting kind of like randomed is on your eco round, even though it's tight right now. You know, I don't know why. This is twice now NRG's been okay with like getting numbers in scenarios. Maybe it's just because they're on eco here that they're okay with it. But they're like getting numbers and not putting any lurk towards middle or like any presence after the pick just to group up towards B. And it's going to be that one's holding the A push, sure. What is going to be a 3-1-1? I'm really confused on what they're doing right now. Let's go look at it, I guess. This play makes no sense to me. I don't know what this call is. 3, get aggressive. B, to get mid control back, which you already probably had because you killed the guy who was mid on average most of the time. Like, this doesn't read. This reads clunky as hell to me. They got him to over rotate somehow, but now they're rotating together as a group. And again, here's that info play through connector, and actually going to go through and look for it and know that no one's middle, so it's going to be B or A. And since they have intel on the last round that happened, it's probably going to be B. Like, I bet the A guy rotates over here soon. Yeah, he's already rotating over towards jungle. They're just going to assume B, and it is B. I wonder if Liquid wins this one. Probably not after that frag. But it should never been this close. Again, the scenario where like they're okay with getting those mid picks and then just like going all upper B or whatever the hell that strat was, it just results in like losing a couple more guns. So NRG actually lays them all out with great shots. But even though that round was won with only 1 loss, that could have been really devastating. Wow, Liquid save 1 more here and go on a tear, I guess, then, because the scoreline for this game, I'll tell you right now, it's 6 to 8. Is it 16-13 or 16-14? 1 of the 2. So they win all these straight, basically. That's kind of crazy. Let's see what happens here. Go to Elige. So Elige with the only like kind of SMG decides to go towards A, and because obviously you can't do anything with your SMG towards the middle here. Like you can, but the better fight is to go towards A, and all 3 of them are kind of pushed up here behind the smoke. They know at least once here they're gonna push through. Get the trade. Good trade. 4v4. Snap reaction from Tease is probably a push towards B here. Looks like it. Again, they kind of know it's going towards B. I don't know why NRG is so transparent with what they do on their ecos a lot of the time, when they know they're on an eco a lot of the time. But it seems to work, but this round probably doesn't work for them. 4v3, one's super low, and one of them is an opper. Little man probably dies Van here to Elige's SMG. There it is. That's just like a really good team base play. So I think one of the times you want to be most risky with your strats or like take a gamble are on your half buys and your eco rounds. But you just have to sit down and talk about them, right? Like they know, like Liquid has said, like, okay, if we're in a scenario where we have like 1 SMG or like, you know, a half buy of some kind, with pistols and utility, we smoke up close, and we're going to flash through, take it later into the round, with the 2 players towards B not getting aggressive and not giving up any map control either with using utility. Those are some of the strats that like advance these teams to be some of the best, because they win rounds like that, you know? Like, I know this CSGO is probably the most eco-friendly game out of the franchise, but you have to still have something designed for it. You can't just ignore it. I mean, you can't just ignore the fact that this game favorites eco rounds almost, in my opinion. For the CT side, at least. I think it's a little bit harder on T side. But I feel like CT ecoing is like pretty common nowadays. And now Team Liquid money is set. That's eco that's laying the rounds really strong. I should curious where JDM plays. He just plays an A side. I like it. Basically, his whole role right here on his, like, I would assume their default is just jump spot, make sure middle's not controlled, and if it does, he eventually fights with like cat guys or A guys, something of that nature. And on a quick rotate to B. He's gonna jump out, pick up the pass. Good round. I think the thing to comment on that is knowing when to rotate. Because it's a pretty standard rotate, right? Like, they're coming out B here to over to jungle. I think there's nothing really special there. Especially when they don't show any mid presence again. You don't even put Elige in a spot to really force him into a scenario where he can't get to B. So I reach pretty linear. Is that smoke even gonna hit? Okay. So, like, even if you just do that, it makes him go towards here. He goes connector side, right? His response is to go connector side, play maybe above the smoke. Something of that nature. It's pretty good. But they didn't even try to hit B last time with doing that. They're okay doing it on their ecos though? Strange. So again, showing that like after he gets the kill, kind of like backing out of the connector and watching for the boost again. They go silent, so he just has a read of like maybe they're gonna boost up, which they did. And they're still in there. They'll probably pick him up too. Oh, what a good shot! But not overextending. Like a lot of players, like you see pistols or techs, and they're like, all right, let's go get the frags. Not the play. That's not the play ever, really. There's like 1 out of every 10 times that you should be over-aggressing in an eco situation when they're all close towards middle. Maybe not even 1 in 10 down, maybe 1 out of every 20 or something. So it's like textbook discipline plays. It's cool to see like a good combination of like aggressive plays sometimes that are like calculated, and then plays that are like I need to back up here, get the first frag, and play the numbers. I think all players should be like that. Easier said than done. There's a lot of pauses this game. So I give it 2.5, right, or something. So this is a deciding round, to be honest, for NRG, because Liquid after that eco, their money's like freaking solid. 2 10Ks and the rest around 5K, even after the loss. This love some to buy like twice even. I mean, kind of a scenario where you don't want to overthink it too much though. Like they're playing like pretty standard. NRG actually just hasn't adapted that fast. That's their problem, I think. Like if they knew the one player is playing middle, and they're just gonna give them the control a lot of the time, getting that mid control is like pretty strong. Working picks off of it can be stupidly good, but they decide not to go there that often. Like, Maybe it's just because they're trying to anti-strat what they do, but waiting for this molly to go away, make sure he doesn't hit it. Playing the one-way. He likes to play the one-way smoke a lot. I mean, who doesn't? It's really good smoke. Ooh, he kind of missed that one. Unless they smoked it out. I didn't see. I don't know how he missed it, though. No idea. Then again, he just kind of rotates around here. Oh, that grenade. That killed a lot of players. Teammates are just doing a really good job of holding it down. Making his life pretty easy. Like, as a rotate player on Mirage, if your B players, like, don't get trade fragged, it's, like, the easiest to rotate in your life. You just kind of just, like, you know, come on in and I'm here, boys. Like, who do you need me to hit with, like, one bullet? I guess it would have been kind of interesting to see the B players get laid out and see what his responses were to a lot of stuff. But, I mean, that's asking for too much. That's like saying, like, Liquid, can you please suck for a demo review? The first time I've actually seen him use that molly. Maybe it's because he just has, he like anticipates that they're not going to be there or something. But a lot of the time, like a really good response to the mid smoke nowadays is like mauling the back boxes, just to like stall for time. If it's going to be aggressive middle or like a fast mid, it stops and delays them so that the B or A players can like get ready or rotate over. It looks like it's again like NRG's so happy with going B, but they don't win it that often. And I think this flank happens because of how little mid control there is a lot of the time. Like, Elige is very comfortable just jumping down and flanking really fast because there's never a mid presence for lurk, and he's like easiest kills of his life, really. Good decision by him, but those are the like type of decisions you adjust into and like kind of be comfortable with doing. And well played by them altogether. Like, it's a really close game there, but you know, I just don't think NRG put Liquid out of a very in uncomfortable situations the entire CT half. It's like they just played textbook whatever they had planned the entire time. The most they ever got uncomfortable was like, you know, setting up an eco to kind of take something that they don't know where they were going to be at, and that's like it. So I hope that you guys liked that video. I'm going to try to do more of those, just like watching a player and kind of talking about the team and the individual plays. If you could like or subscribe, or I don't even know what else you do. Show some love in the comment section. That'd be great. But, you know, thanks for watching nonetheless.